What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys. And in today's video, man, I want to go over some news for college football 26. And it may be news that you may not have been expecting. So, guys, if you are new to the channel, get out of the portal. Stop being a Poindexter and hit that subscribe button, bruh. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything at all and helps me to continue doing what I enjoy doing. So, on with the video. So, some news for college football 26. All right. This isn't, well, it's kind of gameplay news, but it's more just run of the mill kind of news, if that makes sense. Let's go take a look at the first bit of information here, guys. EA Sports College Football opt-in NIL, name, image, and likeness offer. So what you're seeing here, guys, is the direct result of a game performing to the top level tier that it is able to perform. So in 2025, the opt-in payout for NIL for the players to be in the game was $600. Now, there were other players, I'm sure, like your cover athletes here, received more, but the base minimum payout was $600. Guys, this year's game has increased to $1,500. Now, I know on the surface, people may be like, whatever. I've been a college player in college. Now, we didn't have NIL deals back then or money, but guys, being a college student and having an extra $1,500 in your pocket, it can be pretty dang helpful. And even for us normal Americans, like, bro, I would love $1,500 right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but I emphasize this because this is a direct result of the success that college football 25 had. And, you know, there's a dual-sided blessing here. All right. Because for us, the player, because the game, college football 25 was so successful, it even topped what EA had predicted, which is dumb as heck because anybody with a brain would have told you a college football game would have sold through the roof. But anyway, I have to digress. For us, for the game being successful and them increasing, like them getting a big profit margin off of it, what it allows them to do is hopefully devote more of that money into making the game better. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, number one, yeah, the buyout, the NIL for the players is more than doubled from 600 to 1,500. That's step number one. That's a good thing right there. So what's going to happen is now you're going to have more players that are going to say, you know what, I'll be in that game. You know what I'm saying? So now you're going to have more players willing to be in the game and stuff like that. That's going to lead to more sales of the game itself and things of that nature. But by us, and that comes from us buying the game. Now, what other things could come is more resources into the game. Why? Because now you can pay your developers more. You can devote more money into more technologies to improve the game and things of that nature. And then also, you can actually get it to a point where, you know, maybe you do have a legitimate halftime show. Maybe you do have different broadcast teams from different personalities, TV personalities. You know, a big reason, you know, we didn't have the because I would love for the game day crew to be in there. Kirk Kirkstreet, Lee Corso, Brad Nessler, Flowers, like those guys are super fun to listen to, and I look forward to it at the primetime college games. And I really love how college football 25 did, where Brad and Fowler would be the primetime games. Like, it makes it so that the commentary isn't so repetitive because they're only going to commentate those big time games. I love that. Bring that back. Do more with that type of stuff. You know, not having ESPN in the game, you know, I get that's probably why they can't do the game day deal because, well, it's tied to ESPN. And if ESPN is in the game, then it's they have the ability to dictate presentation and things like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like seeing what I see on TV, don't get me wrong, but I love 25's presentation. Could there be more improvements? Yeah. And we'll talk about that in a different video, but I'm not sad because ESPN wasn't in the game. But I have to digress. Simply by us buying copies of this game and it selling the way that it did, these players get to get more money, which is well deserved. And also, you're going to have more players get in now because the NIL money is bigger. And so you're going to have more named players. And then on top of that, like I said, it leads to more resources within the game. So give yourself a hand clap, a pat on the back, whatever you need to do. Because, guys, we made this happen. And this wouldn't be possible without you guys buying the game, enjoying the game. I'm still, it's crazy because I've never, even with Madden, when I used to play Madden, I would play it for a few months and then kind of put it down. I have been steadily playing college football to the point where it's not boring. Guys, I haven't even really touched Road to Glory mode. I played it a little bit, dibble and dabble in it. But for me, the camera angle is atrocious. I want the regular Dynasty camera mode on there, but whatever. Maybe they updated it and put it in there. I don't know, because I just hadn't been playing Road to Glory. I've been playing Dynasty mode, and it's not gotten boring yet. So this is really cool. Now, some more news. All right. So before I get to this new news, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Click, see, just like it's showing you on the screen right there. Click that bell icon so you don't miss a single upload. Because I put these things in the communities tab. So if you don't have on all notifications, you're not going to get notified of that. So the other news. And appreciate Kyle for sending this to me. Kyle, shout out. Kyle has been a day one channel supporter, man. He's been on the channel since the channel been here. He's been through all the games that we've been covering, man. Appreciate you, Kyle. I love you, big dog. Thank you. So Kyle sent me this. And it was something that honestly, y'all, slipped my mind, because with everything going on with college football and the game, I didn't even stop to think hey, there's some more teams that are going to be in the game. And what you're looking at here is Delaware and Missouri State. So they are not FCS schools. They are FBS schools. They're moving up to the big leagues. They're moving up to the big time D1 level of programs. Delaware and Missouri State. They will play in Conference USA. And I will, if y'all want me to, we'll do a separate breakdown video of each team and kind of showcasing what they bring to the table so that you can make the decision if you want to play with one of these schools or not. But Delaware has been, Delaware is a very successful program. Missouri State is a very successful program. I can see both of these programs immediately competing in Conference USA. I think that it's cool to add more teams. Simply because, they're big time D1. They should be in the game anyway. Now, the big question that people are going to ask is, are FCS teams going to come to the game? And I do want to reserve that for a separate video because there's a lot to unpack with that. So if you do want to hear that, subscribe to the channel. Guys, long story short, I would love it. There was a college football game back on PlayStation 2. Y'all got to forgive me for not remembering these games. I've literally been playing college football games since freaking Sega. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing video games that long. But there was a college football game on PlayStation 2 that you actually did have the FCS schools. Back then it was Division 1 and Division 1 AA is what they called it back then. But you had your historic, which was really cool, by the way, because you had your Ivy League schools, you had all of your Division 1 AA schools, and you even had your SWAC schools, and they had their own bowl game. The Heritage Bowl was actually in the game. On top of that, you had your Division 1A schools. So it was super cool to have all of those teams. Now, you couldn't play both seasons at the same time. You had to pick which league you wanted to play, or you had to move your team into a certain conference or whatever like that. That's fine. But with the technology that we have today, it's fully possible. Hey, do you want to play a season? Do you I think that, I'm getting ahead of myself, y'all. I'm giving y'all tidbits of what the video gonna be about. But anyway, I'll go ahead and say it since y'all boys watching the video for this long. I think it would be cool for the FCS schools and the FBS schools for you go into dynasty mode, and there's two separate dynasty modes. Okay? Because let's be honest, In Dynasty, with FCS games, you don't have the same people commentating these games. So now you open the door to have the FCS commentators, which there's well-known commentators in that area as well. And then so go into Dynasty mode and say you can either play with the FCS Dynasty mode or play FBS Dynasty mode. You know what I'm saying? And this goes back to the coaching thing, guys. Wouldn't it be dope, like I said before, where if I can start out as a high school coach in kind of like a road to glory coach mode type deal, where I start out as a high school coach, I move up to the collegiate ranks. But looking at FCS, hey, maybe you start out at a Norfolk State, or you start out at a Grambling State, or you start out at FCS, and then you get to become a coach of a FBS school, and or take your program, elevate them, increase their attendance, and then they get a offer to move up to FBS. If I'm not mistaken, I thought there was a game that you could get. Yeah, you used to be able to get offers from different conferences and stuff like that. Now they just let you make that decision yourself. But in older college football games, I don't know if it was the Game Breaker series or NCAA or whatever, but there were opportunities, like if you're playing well and stuff like that in a smaller conference, you would actually get an invite to join a bigger conference. I think that would be really, really dope. It would add a crap ton of depth to the game. As well as replayability. Like, just imagine you're playing as Delaware, or let's say Central Arkansas, because right now I think, well, actually, UCA, I don't think they're moving up to big time D1. East Texas A&M, formerly known as Commerce. Think you're playing with them in the FCS, and then because understand, in order to move up to big time D1, guys, it's not about your wins and losses. It's not even about the size of your school. It's very different than high school. In high school, especially in the state of Texas, being 1A through 6A, it all depends on your enrollment. In college, it's not dictated off of your enrollment. It's dictated off of the number of fans that you have at your sporting events, and that is program wide. So, and we all know football has the biggest impact on that. So, if you have good impact, if you have good attendance records and things like that and sales, then you can put in that application to be able to move up. You see what I'm saying? That's why you don't see like a first time FCS program, for example, Kennesaw State. You're not going to see them in the SEC anytime soon. Reason why is because they don't have the attendance capacity for it. Now, since they've moved up into FBS, if they continue to win and establish themselves as a marketable program, more money comes in, bigger facilities, and then from there, you can make the move to a Power 4 conference. And that's why you look at teams at conferences like the SEC and those Power 4 conferences, the attendance at those schools and those stadiums are huge. Okay? It's all based off of attendance. So, it would be really cool to be able to do that. And that does tie in to being able to build a stadium. Like, can we get that feature in the game to where I can upgrade my stadium without, I don't care if they utilize it through Team Builder or what, but I would like an in-game way to upgrade my stadium. And it doesn't have to be very intricate. You can simply use the same type of in-game stadium design that you used in Madden in the past. And I think that would be really cool. I think that'd be really dope, because even with Team Builder, you can't design a stadium. You just have to pick a stadium that's already built. Does that make sense? So give us the option to upgrade our stadiums. I think that would be really, really dope. And it would add to the immersion effect of taking a team like a Delaware or a Missouri State and building them into a true powerhouse. Maybe one day joining the SEC, the Big Ten, the Pac, formerly known as the Pac-12, and things like that, guys. So this is some pretty cool news, guys. I'm going to keep my eyes, ears, and nose to the ground, 10 toes down for y'all, man, with any information that's coming out about this game. I'm excited for it. I hope y'all are excited for it. The wait is not very long. We're almost done with the month of March. That is crazy. Then we have April, May, June, and then release date. So 4 more months to go before we get our hands on this next game. And probably, I would say maybe in April, we should kind of start seeing more information trickle out about the game, and then especially by May. So, like I said, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, guys. It has been a blast. That's all I got for right now. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.